Who was the most strictest faculty here at DME?
Bhavish sir.
Bhavish sir. And your favorite faculty?
Bindu ma'am and Bhavar Singh sir.
Aloha or Sports Fest?
Sports Fest.
Moot courts or internships?
Internships.
Books or courtroom experience?
Courtroom experience.
So, and how would you categorize yourself? A strict judge or an empathetic judge?
An empathetic judge for sure.
Fiat justitia ruat caelum. It's one of the Latin phrases that means, let justice be done, though the heavens fall. Now, this Latin term tells us about the significance that justice has been given throughout the mankind. Dispensing justice has been equated with doing God's work. And today, it's a privilege and honor at DME that we are getting to host one of those workmen at our own college. We welcome Mr. Ankit Kaushik, who is a judicial magistrate at UP Judicial Services and is also one of the alumni of DME Law College. Welcome.
Thank you so much for inviting me here.
Welcome, sir. It's our honor and privilege. So, you are coming here after so many years at DME. How is it? How are you feeling? Which memories does it bring back to you when you come here?
Coming back to DME is like coming back to home. It is the foundation stone from where all my journey started. So it always gives me old good memories to be back here.
Yes, sir. That's good to know that all it is bringing is positive and positive nostalgia.
For sure.
So, how was your experience as a student here? I'm sure there is some part of us always that aches for having that student experience, student life back again, if we could. So, any highlights that you had as a student here at DME?
So, I was in the first batch of DME from 2013 to 18. So the DME established with the very first batch where I was enrolled in BLLB. I had some really amazing experiences in the college. Like I had the opportunity to be taught by the Aman Sahani sir.
आप किस तरीके के student थे जब आप DME में थे? Now the responsibility might have burdened your shoulder, but when you were a carefree student at, let's say, 20 years of age, then what kind of student were you? What were the things that you were passionate about?
To be honest, I was a backbencher. Okay. So I was a very average student. So my group was such that they were not serious, not studious. Besides, they were naughty. So teacher used to see us with that side that you will not study, you will not become anything. But gradually, in my final years, like 4th and 5th year, I became serious. I started taking the subjects, the teachers, the concepts more seriously. It happened later when I did some of my internships. Like in my 3rd, 4th year, I happened to join the Honorable Justice Geeta Mittal ma'am, then Acting Chief Justice of Delhi High Court. Okay. So when I got the opportunity to intern with her, at that time I got to know more better the working of the bench. Okay. That was the turning point where I got my interest in judicial services. How she used to administer her work, how she used to adjudicate upon the cases, okay, the responsibility which she used to hold. So it caught my attention a lot. It caught my interest. From that point, I started taking studies more sincerely. So that was the point where I thought of joining the judicial service.
Judicial service.
And
okay,
improve myself in that sense.
Okay.
Becoming more responsible.
That's good to know. That 4th year was the turning point in your career.
You can say.
but we would come back to that. But we would like to know more about you as a student who was a non-serious student and who was a, let's say, pain in the neck of his teachers. So, what was your how you used to hang out or have fun at DME? What was your go-to? Did you used to sit in cafeterias and make fun of subjects and why are we doing what we are doing? And yeah.
I was a backbencher, but not the pain in the interest of my teachers.
Okay, that's good to know.
So I never used to hang out during the lecture. So I used to attend the lectures, but I used to sit at the back, have fun with my friends. But कभी ऐसा नहीं हुआ कि भाई कोई टीचर को डिसरिस्पेक्ट नहीं करा, कुछ नहीं करा. बट इंजॉय करते थे क्लास में, एवरेज मार्क्स लाते थे, कभी बैक नहीं आती थी, ऐसा नहीं करते थे. बट चीज़ों को उतना सीरियसली नहीं लेते थे. लाइक एवरी अदर स्टूडेंट आप इवेंचुअली रिकॉग्नाइज करते हो, रियलाइज़ करते हो कि हाँ एक टाइम है जब चीज़ों को सीरियसली लेना चाहिए. तो वही मेरे साथ भी था. जब मैं अपने फ्रेंड्स वगैरह के साथ था तो उस टाइम पे बहुत इन्जॉय करते थे. नीचे कैफेटेरिया था, वहाँ पे आ जाते थे. तो दैट वाज सम ऑफ द हाइलाइट्स ऑफ माय जर्नी.
Okay. And any societies or cells you were a part of at DME?
At DME, eventually some societies formed. Like in the third year legal aid society or second year, I do not remember exactly. So I became the member of that society. Besides this, there was a literacy society. So that was formed by BJMC students, but they took us, all of us. So I was the vice president in that society. Besides the society, there were many MUNs, moot court competitions, so I participated in those. So there was bits and pieces, some competitions used to be held around. So in the organizing team, I used to participate. So that is how things work for me.
Okay. So you were a fairly active student throughout your stint at DME, even though not much in academics in the starting, but in co-curricular activities.
Yes.
So you think that participating in those activities also helped you in some way in your career or in your UP judicial services?
Look, I can say those competitions, those interactions with other people helped me a lot. I used to meet other people, which in a way helped me in exploring the opportunities in this field. Like I can tell you, there was a competition, moot court competition, which was organized in our college. There I met a person who was the coordinator in All India Bar Association. There is a society by that name. So he helped me in joining that organization, where I met the visiting guest, the guest in that organization, who helped me in exploring the colleges, the universities, where I can have where I can have a good exposure in terms of law, like Pennsylvania University. He told me that if you intern under some lawyer, he named that lawyer, so you can get recognition from that lawyer, which will help you in admission in that university. So I wasn't aware of the facts, like the senior lawyers' recognition, recommendation do matter when you get admission in foreign universities. So this is how by competitions, by organizations, by organizing events, by interaction with other people, you get to know about the avenues in this profession.
Yes.
So it matters a lot, and that is how you open up your mind. The exposure matters a lot, be it by internship or by events. You should meet new people. That is what I learned over there. I made new connections.
Very well said, sir. Connections is something which I've also heard that it's in law field, it's very important thing to nurture and cherish. So are you a first generation lawyer in your family, or are there others also before you who were there to guide you through this journey?
My father was also a lawyer.
Okay.
So from the very childhood, I observed the relation of bar and bench, but from the point of view of the bar. So I was well aware of the facts that how the things work in bar, how the field works, the opportunities and everything. So I was blessed in that way that I already had connections. But later on, when I did my internships, from there I got a fair knowledge, fair exposure about the working of the bench.
Okay.
So yeah, I was the first one in judicial service, but not as a lawyer.
Not as a
Yeah,
lawyer.
I am the second generation for that matter.
Okay. So in India, traditionally, it's the parents who decide their children's career. So was this the case with you as well? In 11th, 12th, was your career chalked out for you by your parents?
No,
Okay.
I was blessed enough that my parents left it for me to decide if I want to, if I would like to choose law or any other profession for that matter.
Okay.
But since I had a fair exposure of the field, I was having interest in this field. So I opted for law. But same rule applied for my sibling. He opted engineering, not law.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that must have been an interesting combination at home.
definitely.
Okay. So once, as you told us that in 4th year was it the turning point and you decided to prepare for UP Judicial Services or judicial services in general. So how did that thought come into your mind? Why did you not follow your father's path, let's say, of continuing with the litigation practice?
So the 4th year was a turning point for me. Like in 4th year, I joined the chambers of Justice Geeta Mittal, not chambers. I had the opportunity to intern under Honorable Justice Geeta Mittal, the acting Chief Justice of Delhi High Court at that time. So I applied for the internship and I was fortunate enough that I got the opportunity. There I observed very closely how the bench works. So the responsibilities over the bench, how you adjudicate upon the cases, how you regularly have to follow up the cases. So I used to make brief for the cases for her. And since I used to make brief, so I was also aware of the facts. Then how she used to decide upon that cases. And how the senior lawyers such as Kapil Sibbal, Salman Khurshid sir, they all used to appear before her. So they had so very nice argument, I would say, very polished argument, very sugar coated argument. But how she used to decide upon that, upon the facts, how they used to present the facts, that took my attention, that took my interest. That is how I got interested in this field.
Okay. So then when you finally made up your mind that you want to continue in this field and you want to prepare for judicial services, I'm sure you must have had a lot of guidance from your family also. But what exactly did you do? When did you start preparing? Did you take any coaching classes for the same? And what was your method of preparation as such? How was your journey of preparation throughout?
So I'll deal with the first question and the last one. So yes, my family made me meet with the judicial officers which were in their acquittance. So they used to guide me, they used to tell me how things work, they used to tell me how to prepare. Besides that, when I passed out in 2018, so in the first few months I prepared myself for the exams. So I gave attempts in some of the exams, I would say, like Rajasthan and all, Madhya Pradesh, Delhi, where I lagged by 2-3 marks. So when this happened 2-3 times, so I realized that there is some mistake in my strategy, not in my knowledge, because 2-3 marks, if you fail by 2-3 marks, that means there is a problem in your strategy, not your preparation knowledge. At that time, I decided to, without wasting any time, I should join coaching. Thereafter, I joined coaching in 2019. So I did my coaching till early 2020, till the time COVID hit. I stopped the coaching as there was no such they were not prepared for the online classes at the moment. So I left the coaching. Thereafter, they started online classes also, but I did not join. I prepared myself because at the coaching I had completed few subjects which were important for me. Thereafter, in 2022, there were no paper in COVID time, 2020 and 21. So I got a chance for the whole day that I could prepare generally for few states which I targeted, like Hindi medium states, like Delhi, Haryana, UP, Judiciary, MP. I did not target for any state for that matter, but I made these 4 states that I will study for them.
Okay.
So I analyzed the subjects, the syllabus of the states, the previous years. Then I particularly targeted for UP, Delhi, and Haryana. So,
Okay.
yeah, that is how I focused on these states.
Okay. So, do you think coachings are necessary for a student who wants to prepare for the judicial services, or can somebody do it by self-study also?
Look, there are 2 sides of every coin. So one can prepare himself as well with self-study. Okay, but you will need a lot of dedication, direction, strategy, and the correct approach towards the exam. That is where the coaching helps us.
Okay.
If you have someone who can guide you with the right direction for the strategy and for the exam, like generally what students or like general aspirant makes mistake is that they start preparation in general for the judicial service rather than for a particular state or a targeted syllabus. Where they make this is the point where they make mistake, that they are hitting a blind target. So this is where the coaching helps. It lets you prepare the right syllabus. All right. So what you have to study for any competitive exam, which matters the most is what you don't have to study. People just read the whole bare acts. They do not know where the main part, where the important part is, which part should be highlighted. And this is what I also analyzed. I realized from my mistake is when I was giving Haryana Judiciary Mains exam. At that time I had fairly very less experience of giving mains exam. So I studied a lot for the mains exam, and I did not get the opportunity to write more than 5-7 points.
Okay.
But I memorized a lot. So it was a point where I realized that in any written exam, you can only write 5-7 points which are important for that answer. And through that, the examiner also can realize that, examiner also can get to know that you have a fair idea of that answer. You cannot write in any exam whole 10-20 points which you have studied or which you have memorized, since our memory is like also a memory card which has limited knowledge. If you learn a lot on a particular topic, so you will miss out on another or somewhere like that. So for judicial service, like pre and mains go hand in hand. So you have to prepare for both of them before the notification.
Okay.
So it goes, what you learn in pre, you have to elaborate it in mains. And you have to have the clear concept for the interview. So there is no particular preparation for these 3 stages. Only you have to polish your concepts. For any legal student or legal aspirant, the only way to conquer this is to have a clear concept.
So clarity and focus are the 2 pillars on which this entire journey.
And consistency.
And consistency. Consistency is something that I think you have mastered throughout your journey, because COVID was a testing time for all of us, And especially for someone like you who had an aim in mind but was not able to achieve it because of some extraneous circumstances like COVID. So how did you motivate yourself? How did you keep yourself inspired that this is something I have to do? ये करना है मुझे, अभी नहीं हो रहा है, कोई problem नहीं है, but this is something which is my aim. So how did you, because it is very easy to be depressed in such time. तो आपने कैसे अपने आप को motivated रखा?
देखिए, बहुत कहना बहुत इजी है, लोगों को लगेगा कि क्योंकि बन गए तो कह रहे हैं, बट यू शुड हैव फोकस ऑफ अर्जुन फॉर दैट मैटर. अगर आपका सर्विसेज या कोई भी टारगेट के लिए अगर आपका फोकस है तो आप सेल्फ मोटिवेटेड रहेंगे. आपको किसी और की ज़रूरत नहीं है कि कोई आके आपको कुछ बताए, कोई मोटिवेट करे, क्योंकि अगर आपका फोकस है किसी चीज़ के लिए तो पीछे कुछ रीज़न होगा. और मेरे लिए पर्टिकुलरली यही चीज़ थी कि मेरा फोकस था, तो मुझे मोटिवेशन की कोई और ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती थी. मैं सिर्फ और सिर्फ अपने फोकस की तरफ ध्यान देता था. डिस्ट्रैक्शंस होंगे, बट जब आप कंसिस्टेंट रहते हैं तो आप फिर फोकस्ड रहते हैं. आप अगर बहुत डिस्ट्रैक्शन है, आप दिन में 1 घंटा ज़रूर पढ़िए. तो जिस दिन मैं नहीं पढ़ता था तो मुझे ऐसा लगता था मेरा दिन वेस्ट हो जा रहा है, कि एग्ज़ाम आया तो मैं नहीं कर पाऊँगा, क्योंकि इन जुडिशियल सर्विसेज दी एग्ज़ाम्स आर ऑल्सो वेरी इरेगुलर. So there is only one opportunity or no opportunity for that matter. For particularly if I talk about UP Judicial Services, so before that the exam came in 2018, then 22, and till now there is no vacancy, no exam till now. So आपके पास एक opportunity होती है और उसके लिए आप सालों साल तैयारी करते हैं. तो अगर आप focus lose कर देंगे तो फिर आपका वहाँ से आप अपने लिए ऑप्शन क्लोज कर देते हैं. और अगर आपका मोटिवेशन नहीं है तो आपका वो टारगेट ही नहीं हो सकता.
वेल सेड.
उसके लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है कि अगर फोकस अगर आप लूज़ करते हैं और मोटिवेशन अगर आपको चाहिए तो आप किसी से भी जिसकी आप एडवाइस मानते हो, या कोई उस फील्ड से कंसर्न्ड हो, या जो आपको उस चीज़ में लगता है कि आपको बहुत अच्छे से गाइड कर सकता है, तो आप उनके टच में रहिए ताकि आपको प्रॉपर एडवाइस टाइमली मिलती रहे, आप मोटिवेटेड रहें. इफ़ यू आर नॉट मोटिवेटेड तो वरना अगर आप फोकस रखेंगे लाइक अर्जुन तो आपको कोई भी इसमें पीछे नहीं कर सकता. सेकेंडली, आई डू रिमेंबर वन एडवाइस ऑफ माई अंकल. ही सेड कि अगर आप रणभूमि में से पीछे हट जाएंगे तो आप क्या लड़ाई का टाइम भी खराब हो गया, और अब तो आप पीछे हट ही गए. तो वो मेरे को यही समझाते थे कि जब एग्ज़ाम अगर कहीं प्रीलिम्स रह गया या कोई मेंस रह गया तो उसके नाराज़ नहीं होना, आप दोबारा प्रिपेयर करिए, अगले एग्ज़ाम के लिए प्रिपेयर करिए, क्योंकि ये रणभूमि है और सब लोग प्रिपेयर्ड आ रहे हैं. कोई आपसे ज़्यादा प्रिपेयर्ड था इसलिए उसका हो गया. तो इसलिए मैंने लगातार अपना फोकस लूज़ नहीं करता रहा, एंड एट द एंड आई एक्सेल्ड.
Well said, sir. You mentioned about your friends and how you had a good group of friends that you used to have fun with. So, आप कभी मिस करते हैं उन्हें? आप अभी भी उनसे टच में हैं? Because I am sure, like everybody else, those were the highlights of your college experience. Those were the people जिनकी वजह से आप कॉलेज रोज आना चाहते होंगे, and you used to look forward to attending classes and having all the kinds of experiences that you could. So how are they doing? Are you in touch with them? Do you miss them?
Yeah, I am in touch with my complete group. So they are all based in Delhi and NCR.
Okay.
Most of them are practicing, and few of them have started their business, their ventures. So I'm in touch with almost all of them. So we do meet in marriages or sometime in any social event, or we make plans to meet up. So yeah, I do meet them, and it matters to me a lot to be in touch with my friends, where I can release all my stress, I can talk whatever I do want to. So yeah, I do have my friend group intact.
Thank you for giving us insights into your life. They were very refreshing, very informative, and also good to know that you had such an interesting life at DME as a student also. Now we'll be moving on to the rapid fire round at the end. So you just have to answer what comes to your mind naturally. So who was the most strictest faculty here at DME?
Bhavish sir.
Bhavish. And your favorite faculty?
Bindu ma'am and Bhavar Singh sir.
Aloha or Sports Fest?
Sports Fest.
Moot courts or internships?
Internships.
Books or courtroom experience?
Courtroom experience.
So, and how would you categorize yourself? A strict judge or an empathetic judge?
An empathetic judge for sure.
So, this was one of a few insightful interviews that we had with Mr. Ankit, and the gist that has come out of it is that one can be a very fun person, one can be a backbencher also, but when that switch flicks in you, when you get that clarity, then you need to have Arjun's focus in your mind, and you have to work towards your aim and your objective until you finally achieve it. And beyond all that, what you need to remember is be nonchalant, but don't be disrespectful to your teachers. That is something that we can learn from sir as well. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you for giving us your precious, valuable time.
Pleasure is all mine.
Thank you, sir.